Ultracycling legacy. And the show we
Hello, everybody. This is Grinny from Bangalore, and welcome to this episode. We are bringing an esteemed ultracyclist and triathlete from India. His name is Dr. Amit Samarth. He is a medical professional and very passionate about ultracycling. In the last many years, I think 6 to 7 years, he has many accolades in the ultracycling world. Two-time RAM finisher, um, winner and finisher of Race Across India, the first edition, which was in 2023. He's also the race director of Race Across India. And in the unsupported races, one of the longest races, 9,100 kilometer, Trans-Siberian in Russia. He is one among seven, right? Who's completed this
Yeah.
race. Yeah, and numerous triathlons, four-time full Ironman finisher, and 16 half Ironmans, multiple
Crazy.
marathons, and the list is very long. So,
Yeah.
welcome, Dr.
We should
Amit.
just keep it short.
Sure, yeah, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the show today.
Yeah.
So we know a lot about your ultra cycling accolades and adventures. So let's have a quick introduction of how you started this journey of ultra cycling. Why cycling in the first place?
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Greeny. I have been following you all the time on your ultra cycling adventures myself, and I am a big fan of yours. I always follow your
Thank you.
adventures and your, whatever you're doing in ultra cycling, and great that you're also, promoting ultra cycling and, interviewing different, athletes and talking about them. It's a very good thing for the sport, and it will it's we need all kinds of these things to promote the sport of cycling, triathlon, whatever. So thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, of course, I actually I never thought I will do so much of cycling, because I was a lot into marathon running. I started with marathon running, and I used to run quite well marathons, half marathon in like 1 hour 30 minutes, and then full marathon in 3 hour 20 minutes, 3.5 hours. So I used to enjoy a lot marathon running. And but somewhere I just came across Ironman, and then for I started training for Ironman. And then for Ironman, of course, you have to do swimming, you have to do cycling, you have to do running, everything. So that is where I started doing serious cycling kind of a thing. But I was always in my early, like in when I started doing Ironmans in 2011, 2012. At that time, very few people were doing Ironmans in India. They could have been actually just counted on fingers. Now we have so many people doing Ironmans and half Ironmans and full Ironmans. At that time, there were hardly, I remember, five, six people were doing Ironmans. And uh, so and
So you were like the
for
path breaker
yeah,
right
for
from then.
half Ironman, yeah, for half Ironman, we used to only cycle 100 kilometers. That was enough for half Ironman, and focus a lot on swimming and running. So, but when I actually left my full time job and I started my sports academy and all, I went to Nagpur, and that is where uh, I started doing little more long distance cycling. And at the same time, Braves got started organizing in Nagpur. And So I started doing 200 kilometer Braves and all. And I used to be happy with 200 kilometers, because that was like the like extreme for me. Like 200 is like that is the limit. No, nothing more than 200 kilometers. So but I used to ride pretty fast. So I used to do a 200-kilometer breve in like 6.5 hours. And then somebody said me, why don't you try ultra cycling? You can be good at ultra cycling, and you ride fast, and why don't you try ultra cycling? So I just out of just curiosity, I went for Deccan Cliffhanger race in 2015.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm telling you, I didn't even knew what is ultra cycling, what is race across America. I didn't knew anything. I didn't even knew what was crewing, that you need a crew for ultra cycling. So when after registering for the race, I came to realize like that you need a crew. and and I was actually pretty happy. I said, "This is great. I just have to cycle. They will take care of my food, nutrition, water, everything, and I just have to ride." So, I started in that fashion. I didn't even knew what is crewing. Like you need a crew. They will navigate you. They will support you. They will take care of your food and all.
These are
So
all luxuries for an unsupported rider, right?
yeah, yeah. So I was like, I said, great. This is so I actually then did the race, and then luckily what happened is like that year the race across America race director was there for the flag off of the race.
Okay.
So yeah, he came that year first time in India. So I met him and he told about RAM and all, and I said this is like 5,000 kilometers, no way. And I just that is how. But then so one of my friends said that why don't you go and crew in RAM first? So I went for crewing in RAM in 2016. I crewed another rider. Then I had one more friend with me, Vivith Valve. So Vivith is actually the race director of Race Across India. So Vivith and me, we crewed another rider, and then I came back, and then I told all my friends that this is a I can do RAM, but it is very expensive. So they said, don't worry, we will take care of we will create a support group for you. And one of my mentor, Jitendra Nayak sir, and Bhanu Rajgopalan sir. So they were all businessmen. So they had all the connections with the business community. So they created videos and all, and they appealed all the business community in Nagpur that everybody should contribute for this project, and there is a boy from Nagpur who can do this, and he might be the first guy from India to actually do RAM. So so they all this is how, so it became Nagpur's project. And so instead of me, so it was a so
It took a
because that is
village,
how
I mean, a city.
yeah, so that is how I actually started with then we did RAM successfully in 2017. And then of course then Trans-Siberian and everything kept on happening.
Yeah,
Golden Quadrilateral, then Race Across India.
yeah. Yeah, so coming to race across India. So what was the idea? So you did a lot of cycling on your own, and both in the supported and unsupported format. So what was the idea behind creating a race, such a lengthy race across India? What was the main idea? Why did you come up with this?
Yeah, the idea is same, like because not every rider cannot have means to go to race across America and do such a long race. So we can have similar long races in our own country, and which can be done at extremely low cost. At almost, if you compare the cost of doing RAM and the cost of doing race across India, is like race across India is like peanuts in front of RAM. So you can do race across India almost at 8 to 10% of what it costs to do RAM. So so that's what I told so that's what the idea was. And the idea was to create an iconic endurance cycle race for our own country, and our own, not just for our own country, but also riders from other country can come and race in our country. And uh, and we thought like Kashmir to Kanyakumari is the most iconic. Every cyclist in our country wants to do Kashmir
Yeah.
to Kanyakumari at least once in his life. So so we thought that we why don't we create a race on the same route, like who
Yeah.
rides from Kashmir to Kanyakumari as fast as possible. So that was the whole. So that is the whole equation, and we the idea was to create a as good as race. If you see race across India, the organizing level of race across India is at par or maybe even ahead of many international ultra cycling races, because the amount of video coverage, the amount of photography, the amount of the caretaking which is done for the riders is immense, huge. So
Yeah.
uh,
So this for our viewers, race across India is a 3,650 kilometer race, right? Am I right? Correct me if I'm
yes,
wrong on the
yes,
distance. Yeah.
3651. Yeah,
51-kilometer race, which is from the north of India, as north as you can go from Kashmir to the
yeah,
southern
Srinagar
tip.
to Kanyakumari.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is not
Srinagar.
as north as, but yeah, you can go even further north. You can go to Ladakh and start. But
Yeah, that would
but
be a little extreme.
yeah,
Yeah,
actually, yeah, it can. It we can actually create a very very tough race in our own country, because we have Himalayas, we have Western Ghats. But to start with, we thought that Srinagar to Kanyakumari is good enough, and it's
and
long.
how
It
would you
has
describe this the course of this race? How what is the terrain from the entire for the duration?
the terrain is actually to start with is it's very hilly. Srinagar, the first 200 kilometers is all uphill, downhill, and lot of big climbs are there. And uh, once you get through the that Kashmir part and you are in Jammu, from Jammu it's all flat till Delhi, very flat terrain, and then again it is again very hilly and rolling terrain in Madhya Pradesh, and because you go through the Satpura mountain range, and
Mm-hmm.
it actually looks flat on the profile, but it's a very it's a very challenging and very very
Deceptively challenging.
yeah, it deceptively lot they use a lot of false flats. You see the road is flat, but it's actually not flat. So till Madhya Pradesh, it's very challenging, and then again it's flat in Nagpur area. Then again till Hyderabad, it's flat. Then again from Hyderabad to Bangalore, it's again hilly after this particular place Kurnool. So then from Kurnool till Chikballapur, it's very hilly. Then again from
Yeah,
Bangalore onwards all the way till Kanyakumari, it's all downhill and flat.
yeah.
And last 300 kilometers, it's like you are riding on a runway. I can tell you the road conditions are so good
Mm.
down south. Like after Madurai, you feel like you are riding on a runway which is just made for you. So
But it'll be pretty hot, right? Because down south, as you go further to the
yeah,
coastline,
it's
it would
hot, but
humid and hot.
still manageable.
Yeah.
And I think it's a to start with, it's a good, very challenging route, because the distance is huge, and of course, maybe in coming years we will increase the distance so that
Mhm.
we almost come close to Ram, and and we have Western Ghats also in between. So that will actually make it almost equivalent to Ram in terms of you know elevation and climbing.
That's great. And so, what is the cutoff time duration right now for this for the current race?
It's 12 days. It's 12 days.
Okay. for both men and women in the solo
Yes,
category.
for both men and women. Yeah, and then for uh, if you are above 50, you get 1 day more, 13 days, and then above 50, above 60, they all get 1 day more, and then if you are differently abled athlete, then you get 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
like
it's
in
open
first
to
edition.
yeah, differently abled athletes as well.
Yeah, we had three differently abled athlete in first edition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so that is one of the longest races in India. And coming to the other race that you have created, Satpura King of the Mountain. So tell us more about this race as well.
yeah, it's a Satpura King of Mountain is a like a 1 day race, meant for riders who are who want to ride fast as well as they want hilly terrain. So it's a not even 1 day race, it's like a 10 10 12 hour race. It starts in Nagpur on a very flat terrain, and
Yeah.
then it just keeps progressing into a very rolling terrain. And then there are a lot of big climbs. There is a 16-kilometer climb in between. uh, like there are three big climbs. First climb is like 7-kilometer climb. Then there is the second climb is almost 16-kilometer climb. And then but there is a big downhill after that, almost 20 25 kilometers of downhill road is there. And then again in the end, after like 225 kilometers, there is a straight uphill of 30 kilometers in the end. So it's like in the end when you are tired, you know so that
You have
is
to
where there is a
climb.
straight uphill of 30 kilometers, and you finish at the top of the mountain. So
Ah,
it's a beautiful race because it's just a 1 day 10 10 12 hour race for
yeah,
strong riders, maybe another 14 15 hour race for little slow riders. But it's a race where you can you don't have to really hammer for days together. You
yeah,
just have to you should have very good skills to ride, and you want to enjoy, and enjoy the jungles, enjoy the because there are a lot of very dense jungles in between.
okay,
And the final climb is the very very beautiful. So uh, and then you can spend some time in Pachmadi, which is a hill station. So it's a race meant for everybody, for strong riders, people, because not everybody wants to do ultra cycling. That's what
yeah,
I think, because it's a
mm,
audience is different. So not everybody wants to do ultra cycling, not everybody has time. But if they want to enjoy a short half day 12-hour race,
mm,
so they're kind of a race for them. And where all kind of terrains are there, there is a flat terrain, there is a rolling hill, there are big climbs. So everything is there in one single stretch of 250 kilometers.
great. Yeah, so it caters, one is caters exclusively to the ultra cycling, and one is like people who want to get into ultra cycling, right?
Yeah, this is a nice training ride for a ultra cyclist.
Yeah,
A hard training ride. And
yeah. And so this is conducted once a year in September,
yeah,
is it?
so actually this year we were late. We planned to do it little in the monsoon time in July.
Okay.
So that is the where we actually the Satpura is at the most beautiful, because it's raining, it's all monsoon, there are a lot of waterfalls, there are a lot of it's very very beautiful, it's very green.
Yeah.
So next year it will be actually in end of July, when the monsoon is at peak. That is where we plan to do it, because that is where it's most beautiful and it's most thrilling to do that race.
Okay. Great. And the when is race across India scheduled for 2024?
October, 1st October to start, from 1st October.
Okay. So, all the best with both of these races, Dr. Amit. And thank you so much for being with us today. It was wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, thank you. And I would also like to invite you for a race across India.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you can be the first female solo, women finisher of race across India.
yeah, I would definitely love to try this route. It is quite an interesting route. Kashmir to Kanyakumari is like you mentioned,
Yeah.
dream route for most ultra cyclists. So
Yeah, and who better than Greeny doing this race and becoming the first woman rider in India to do it in a race format? I know many women have done it, but I think we need a rider like to actually show, what women can also do, isn't it?
sure, I think I will definitely sign up for this sometime down the line for sure. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Amit.
yeah. Thank
Thank you.
you. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Hi everyone, this is Grinshina Karthik from Bangalore, India for the Ultracycling magazine. Please subscribe using the show logo above my head and ring that bell so you won't miss a single episode.